Guest characters. If you haven't heard the recent news, Lucy from the Cyberpunk Edgerunners anime was recently announced for Guilty Gear Strive. And the reaction has actually been pretty mixed. Terry and Mai from Street Fighter also opened up a whole can of worms. And look, I get why it'd be polarizing in a highly competitive game like Street Fighter, where maybe your main isn't around in the base roster. But guest characters can also be some of the most hype announcements in games. You know, with some exceptions. Look, I kinda just want to yap about guest characters in games if I'm being honest. That's the whole reason I wanted to make this video. It's mostly going to be fighting games, though there's going to be a few other things sprinkled here and there. So let's talk about them. Let's gush about them, let's bash them, let's understand the weird intricacies of them. That Horizon Zero Dawn Lego game is on Switch. Does that count as a guest appearance? Starting off with a classic, Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Now I remember seeing this trailer for the first time. My cousins pulled it up. First off, despite me actually really liking Smash as a kid, I had no idea there was another one coming out. So they pulled up this trailer, and it was fucking crazy. Now, I was a Sonic kid at the time. Yeah, I know, I was one of those, okay? But what's even funnier than that is the fact that I was so indifferent to seeing Snake while everybody else was popping off. Like, my cousins pulled up the trailer, I popped off to Sonic, and they were like, yeah, it's pretty crazy, right? Then they're like, check this shit out. And then Snake showed up. And I was like, who is that? And my cousins were like, you don't know Metal Gear? And I was like, dude, I'm 10. But it's funny to imagine that back during the Melee days, Sonic was the dream catch for the roster. Like, people made those fake images of Sonic and Tails. How to unlock Sonic and Tails? You gotta turn your PS3 up. PS3. Let your GameCube run for 48 hours straight, and then dump ice water on the cord, trust me, bro. But when Snake showed up, he kicked the door straight open for, like, any other future guest appearance. Then we got Cloud in Smash 4, that made Maximilian dude fucking nut on camera. We got Bayonetta, and she caused no controversy at all. Then Minecraft showed up, that was, that was a big pull, but also, what the fuck? And finally, Smash Bros. Ended with Sora, the most highly requested crossover character, I think ever? I don't know, I might need to fact check that. But, now characters like Master Chief and Doom Guy and the fucking Mr. FORTNITE man aren't even that outlandish of possibilities anymore. There is serious discussion for any of them to end up in the next Smash game. There's a lot more Smash Bros. To talk about in this video, but I want to shift gears for a second to talk about something even cooler than smashing your bros. Demons.
Hey there, demons. It's me, your boy.
Shin Megami Tensei, or as it's known in the West, Persona, is what your pastor imagined Pokemon was actually like back in the 90s. And a game involving demons and gods was perfect crossover opportunity for a demon hunter. And they fucking used Devil May Cry 2 Dante. Good. Yeah. What's funny about this crossover, though, is that not only did they use the shittiest version of Dante, well, arguably, he was actually also shittier than the other guest character in the game, Rido. Let me explain. In a Japan-exclusive upgraded version of SMT III, Dante was replaced by Rido from other SMT game.
Our guest of honor, Father Rasputin.
Because of, I don't know, licensing, I guess? It was only a one-time collaboration, maybe? But Rido had access to a pretty critical skill for hard mode runs called Pierce. Pierce basically lets you penetrate enemies' resistances. I know, wow, creative name. But it was pretty vital for hard mode runs, and I'm pretty sure it was only exclusive to the Demi-Fiend, the main character of the game. Dante doesn't have that skill. So for well over a decade, if you were playing the American version of the game, you were just straight up playing with a shittier character. That is, until the HD version came along and gave Dante the skill. You know, for $10 and with shittier music.
I love them.
Video games. Mortal Kombat, or as it's now being called by some, Smash Bros. For geriatrics, has become pretty notorious in the past decade for having a whole bunch of guest characters from old movies and other properties. Recently, though, they've dabbled in more modern shows to pull in the Gen Zers, but they just announced Season 2 and they kind of threw that all away. But they've had a lot of cool guest characters. Remember Kratos? Kratos was actually a perfect pick for a Mortal Kombat character. But sometimes even slam dunk picks fall flat. I remember how hype everybody was for Arnie's Terminator to be in the game. Whoa, crazy. The Terminator? He's gonna say the thing. He's gonna say, I'll be there. And then he came out, and that boy was fucking ass. And they've had other misses in the franchise too. Alien was in the game, but he was a weird like Baraka hybrid to fit in with the lore. Leatherface was there. Also kind of bummed that they teased Ash Williams from Mortal Kombat 11, and he still isn't in the game one game later. Also,
get what you fucking deserve!
Remember how he looked in that reveal trailer? Ew. But speaking of Jokers...
I'm the Joker, baby!
Back to Smash Bros. Nobody ever expected this crossover. Now, I think with Cloud, he's a classic character, right? A character with a legacy that would make Mortal Kombat fans reminisce. But at the time Joker was announced at the Game Awards for Smash Bros., Persona 5 was still relatively new, and it definitely was not on a Nintendo console at the time. So when he popped up as DLC character number 1 for the whole season, people went fucking ballistic. There were predictions going crazy. We were gonna get Gino. We were gonna get Master Chief. We were gonna get Banjo. That actually happened. And Sub-Zero. And Doom Guy. And Dante. And we got guests. 3 more guests to be exact. Ones that had people asking, who? But with 1 slot left, they had to be saving the best guest character for last. Sora was gonna be... Oh. Byleth being revealed as the last character for DLC Season 1. How do I put this? It was an obvious pick. God knows the 7 other Fire Emblem characters were a sign that it was going to happen eventually. But it was also the worst timing they could have done. Now let me explain something real quick. I like Fire Emblem.
Poggers!
So I have no problem with the franchise getting representation in game. Is what I would say, again, if there weren't already 7 other characters representing it in the game. So when I saw the announcement that Byleth was the final character for DLC Pack 1, my heart fucking dropped.
No. You must join Smash.
Wait.
It was kind of like watching your kid run into traffic or, climb into a gorilla enclosure. And I could only sit there and watch as the internet tore into my boy/girl. But here's the thing, right? How do you handle the release order of the first Fighter's Pass in order to maintain hype and not sort of kill your momentum? You start with Joker, right? And then what? You make Byleth character number 2 to make people set their expectations accordingly, but then you get, what? Banjo 3rd, and then Hero, who was mixed in the West, and Terry, who nobody except for people in the South knew about? The obvious solution is to swap Byleth with Min Min from Pack 2 so all the ire gets directed at ARMS fans, and by that I mean all the ire gets directed at nobody. Or, make Sephiroth the end of Pack 1 since Sora's the end of Pack 2 is kind of like, oh, it's poetry. It's poetry. It rhymes.
Dude, what the hell are you doing? What the...
Who is it?
It's Wooly! He's yelling something!
Tell the fuck off!
Anyway, moving away from Smash but sticking with Nintendo. Did you know Samus and Link were going to be in Marvel Ultimate Alliance? Now, I say we're gonna very loosely here. Now, the story goes that the devs implemented them into the Wii version to show Nintendo as like an act of good faith, like a kid showing a drawing of their dad to their parents. And they were like, can we put them in the game, pretty please, Nintendo? and Nintendo said no. To my knowledge, Nintendo doesn't actually have a problem with their characters appearing as guests, so long as it's in the version of the game exclusive to their consoles. It's actually the big reason for why they fucking didn't let Samus into FORTNITE, which I'll talk about later, but it's also why Tekken Tag 2 on the Wii U has Kaji to dress up like Link. It's also why Link was in Soul Calibur. Speaking of,
there's no such thing as a coincidence.
Soul Calibur
Is dead.
That's only partially a joke. It's actually in limbo right now. It's kind of fucked up. But Soul Calibur has a history of guest characters going way back to Soul Calibur 2 with Link and fucking Heihachi, who is alive. Ezio from Assassin's Creed was actually kind of a sick pick. Shame he was in Soul Calibur 5. And then Henry Cavill showed up. And then even 2B showed up in Soul Calibur 6. Side note about 2B, she's been appearing as a guest in a shit ton of series since her game came out. Yoko Taro really wants her in everything. And I mean, can you blame him?
Hey, what you doing out here with all this ass?
But I skipped over a game. You know, the one that had Darth Vader, Yoda,
My clock.
and fan favorite character Star Killer.
No, see, that was a family falling apart. That's why Lumpy kept going into the VR helmet to watch porn.
Yeah, back during the Soul Calibur 4 days, people made a stink about this one. And I get it, right? There's an argument to be made that these guys clashed the fuck out of the aesthetic. I also think it's really funny that they made Yoda and Star Killer version exclusives. I'm sure somebody can make an argument that 2B also clashes with the aesthetic, but she's like vaguely fantasy designed, and also her ass distracts people. It's like a smokescreen. Continuing on with Bamco games. I brought up Heihachi earlier, but in recent memory, Tekken's been dipping its toes into their neighbors' swimming pools, kind of just stealing all their characters. Akuma was in the base Tekken 7 roster, which was sick. And then Geese Howard showed up from Fatal Fury, you know, the guy from the Smash Bros trailer who fucking killed himself. But it was like a celebration of fighting games. Who was gonna be next? Akira from Virtua Fighter?
Hey pal, you just blowing from
Soul Calibur.
Yeah, Noctis from Final Fantasy 15 was a weird fucking choice for Tekken, man. Like, yeah, Final Fantasy is popular, and 15 relatively came out around there. I don't know, though. Apparently he was actually decent in the game, like, he got some pro play and stuff like that, but, I wasn't a Tekken 7 player at the time, so, you know. Noctis was an unexpected pick. I guess it was like a pleasant surprise for some people, but I can't imagine things would get weirder than that. What the fuck? Harada, put that shirt away, man. Nobody asked for this. Like, I think this was when Walking Dead was still relatively popular. And I guess the trailer was fun, but this was fucking bizarre. Negan from The Walking Dead with his stupid goddamn baseball bat and fucking Jeffrey Dean Morgan smile versus Devilman. Fucker turned me into a crybaby, god damn. Now that being said, it does set an interesting precedent for the future of Tekken Guest characters. If TV Man could be in the game, anyone can be in the game, including Goku, or you. Look, you! Wow, Fortnite's making a lot of money, huh? Jesus Christ. They can actually just get anybody. Like, they got Goku, and he looked really fucking weird, if I'm being honest.
He was so ugly that everyone died.
But being the bitch I am, I still bought him. No, don't look at me with those judging eyes of yours, please. And it's crazy seeing Marvel and DC characters running around in the same game as Master Chief and Kratos and fucking Peter Griffin.
Damn, boy, he's thick!
But not Samus. Free her, Nintendo. Set her free. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it there for now. In terms of future guest characters in games, who fucking knows? I mean, We know Mortal Kombat is continuing to bring entertainment to retirement homes all over the world. I'm so mean to retro film fans and for no reason. Street Fighter VI, again, is getting Terry and Mai. In terms of Smash Bros, anything's fucking possible, who knows? Gino's probably actually going to be in the next one since the Mario RPG remake happened. I've recently gotten into Tekken, and I've noticed there's been a big push for Tifa to be in the game. Noctis did set precedent, so I'd be down for it. But, you know, part of me thinks Harada will do something fucked up and add, like, Clive from Final Fantasy XVI instead.
One ticket for Bobby.
My number one wish for character for Tekken, though? I mean, Goku, obviously. But besides Goku, Kazuma Kiryu. Or Majima. Or Ichiban. Look, I really just want Yakuza rep in the game. I think it'd be perfect. Or, you know, Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. At the end of the day, though, guest characters will get eyes on your game. But even if that's the case, people will pretty much only stick around.
The game is fun.
I mean, look at FORTNITE or Smash Bros. Those are appealing to casuals and tryhards together. Or in Mortal Kombat's case, if people explode into bloody bits,